room temp rainbow roll, manhandled waffle cones, and petrified pizza? We know your stomach's rumbling for some top-notch cruise grub. Just put down the plate of lukewarm scrambled eggs and no one gets hurt. If you wouldn't eat sushi from a gas station or a 7-Eleven, then you probably shouldn't eat it on a cruise ship either. Raw food like sushi and sashimi that need to be kept in controlled environments are the least trustworthy options on a cruise menu. Sushi pros understand the need to store raw fish at specific temps to ensure safety and preserve flavor. And if you're planning on trying sushi for the first time on your big adventure on the open seas, think again. Bad cruise ship sushi won't only ruin your evening, it might put the kibosh on your entire trip. Much of the risk comes from how the fish is refrigerated. According to Healthline, keeping sushi at room temperature for up to 2 hours is considered safe. But since you likely won't have a clear view of the kitchen, you might not want to automatically trust that all measures have been taken to ensure food safety. Considering how you probably don't want to spend your vacation in the bathroom, steering clear of the sushi is a safe rule to follow. Cruise ship scrambled eggs might be one of the least appetizing foods you could eat during your vacation. This cooking style is particularly fickle from a preparation and serving standpoint. Soft scrambled eggs stored in a warming tray can be a breeding ground for bacteria, while hard-cooked scrambled eggs that are kept under a heat lamp can become dry and leathery. Neither of these options sound particularly appealing. Eggs that also come in the form of omelets, breakfast sandwiches, and egg cups all come with the same potential for full-on culinary failure.
She was a bad egg.
According to the CDC, eggs should be cooked to a temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit in order to be considered safe to eat. And there's pretty much no way to tell whether the ship's kitchen has undercooked their scrambled eggs. Regardless, there's no reason to risk your entire trip over something you can easily make at home. Ice cream dispensers with all the toppings and fixings are famous for getting the party started, and infamous for being pretty dirty, which is precisely why you should probably skip the vanilla chocolate swirl. Self-serve ice cream can quickly lead to cross-contamination, since everybody will be grabbing both the dispenser handle and the cones. This touchy-feely scenario is the perfect setup for the next unlucky guest to pick up germs from any of a number of previous users. And because ice cream cones require handheld eating, diners will undoubtedly touch both the cone and their mouths as they dive in.
What does alamodi mean?
Oh, that means it comes with ice cream.
Okay, alamodi.
Ice cream holds a sweet spot when it comes to American favorites, and it's a safe bet that cruisers will gravitate toward a self-serve station at some point during the journey. Even with hand sanitizer at the ready, there's no guarantee that everyone will use it. While it may be tempting to serve yourself a big ol' helping of vanilla, fudge, and cookie crumbles, drop your anchor on a no-group contact dessert instead. Pizza is perfect for just about any meal, anytime, but your floating dining room is a major exception to the rule. Pizza at a buffet will likely spend more than its share of time under a high-wattage heat lamp in an attempt to preserve that fresh-out-of-the-oven vibe. But this little trick also dries out every part of the pie, from the crust to the toppings. The result is a slice experience that falls flat on its face. And you, with the cocktail umbrella stuck in your hair, you deserve more than that.
I never knew pizza was so good when it was hot.
You might assume that it's freshly made pizza that's calling your name at the buffet, and while it's possible that it was recently tossed, it's also likely that it's been hanging out forever in a heated tray, which will toughen the crust. Depending on the layout of the buffet, pizza is another dish that many guests are likely to grab with their hands. This sort of cross-contamination can transform even the most delicious slice into a top-notch stomach turner. Cruise ship burgers may top the fast food variety when it comes to freshness and flavor, but they're still one of the least healthy options you can choose. They're heavy on the stomach and may add to the discomfort of anyone who's sensitive to the motion of the ocean. For anyone prone to seasickness, heavy foods like burgers or cheeseburgers will only add to the misery. And who wants to spend hours in the sick bay or the cabin rather than enjoying the luxury vacation they were hoping for?
This is a tasty burger.
Whether it's about your bikini bod or your personal plumbing, lighter fare is key, no matter how good the burger station may smell when you walk past. Hamburgers also pose a bacterial risk, considering that they're a literal breeding ground if undercooked. Though some higher-end dishes on the ship's menu may feature raw beef, avoiding foodborne illnesses like E. coli and salmonella means keeping your distance from those all-beef patties. Anyone with a fridge knows that ketchup, mustard, and mayo are all refrigerate after opening condiments, and they definitely don't live their best lives on a countertop. Refrigerating condiments is key for keeping them fresh and edible, but items like cruise ketchup are often left on tables or at serving stations for long periods of time, creating the perfectly moist and warm conditions needed for bacteria growth. And we're pretty sure food poisoning wasn't what you had in mind for lunch. Many times, cruise ship condiments can be found in serving dishes that are shared by tables of diners. This adds a delightful sprinkle of cross-contamination from being exposed to airborne germs. Ever known someone who spits when they talk? Ever do it yourself? Consider leaving those vulnerable spreads and sauces off your plate altogether. If you absolutely need ketchup for your hash browns, ask a server if fast food style packets are available instead.
Lay off me, I'm starving!
Okay, hold your seahorses. We're not telling you to survive for 5 days on random coconuts you find on the beach. There are plenty of tantalizing treats to tempt you on board your sea-bound palace. Want options? We've got them. You can't go wrong by filling up on green salads on your cruise. While it's likely a healthier option, a salad also packs some serious fiber, which fills you up and keeps you regular. Though salad bars let you build your own and control what goes into the bowl, versions prepared by the chef are usually fresher than self-serve, and maybe less prone to wandering hands. As with any salad worth its weight in nutrition, certain greens make better choices than others. Iceberg lettuce may be full of crunch, but it provides more water and fewer nutrients than spinach. If you have the option, try to order the darker greens. Topping your salad can be tricky too, and that flood of Thousand Island isn't going to do you any favors. By ordering fresh greens with dressing on the side, you can control how caloric your salad will be. Fruit is a great option, especially on a cruise. Power fruits like berries and citrus will keep you hydrated and refreshed, while also bolstering your immunity. Fruit will satisfy your cravings, and because it's so portable, it's also a great option for taking back to your cabin for a future snack attack.
I feel like I got a B12 shot. This is like a taste explosion.
I told you.
Opt for fresh whole fruit rather than pre-sliced pieces like pineapple and watermelon. This minimizes exposure to germs and lets you wash your fruit before you eat it. Regardless of how a fruit-forward dish might appear at your table, you can always choose an option that won't go bananas on your tum-tums. As far as protein options on cruise ships go, cooked fish is not only on theme, but it's also one of the healthier dishes you can choose. Many cruise lines partner with local fishermen at their ports, allowing chefs to restock during the voyage. This means that the fish may actually be fresher than beef or chicken, which has likely been frozen or refrigerated for untold hours. Since fish found in the self-serve buffet is often left under heat lamps and may be swimming in butter to keep it moist, fresh preparation by kitchen staff is always your best option. Princess and Norwegian Cruise Lines take the idea of fresh food to delicious extremes, allowing guests to catch and cook their own fish on some excursions. This version of cruise-style dining adds to the adventure, while letting you see exactly where your food comes from. That's what they call the catch of the day, matey. Chicken will often be found in many forms on the ship's menu. The healthiest options include baked and grilled chicken, preferably without skin to minimize calories and saturated fats. Options like fried chicken and chicken wings are often exposed to additional heat while hanging out at the buffet. Not only do the lamps toughen and dry the meat, they also allow exposure to environmental contaminants that weren't part of the original recipe. Choosing fresh chicken or having the chicken cooked to your preference will be your healthiest choice.
He looks like a happy little guy who runs around. A lot of friends, other chickens as friends. Putting his little wing around another one and kind of like palling around.
Frequent cruisers also seem to go for chicken on their seafaring adventures. As the largest cruise vessel in the world, Royal Caribbean's Symphony of the Seas cooks about 9,700 pounds of chicken per week. Guests can even find their favorite chicken chains on board some ships. Carnival introduced Shaq's Big Chicken for fans, and with fast food style chicken available, it may be time to dive in. Though carbs have gotten a bad rap for years, bread just keeps on sailing. According to Insider, due to high demand, most cruise ships bake bread up to 3 times a day, and the number of dinner rolls that are munched on during a cruise is staggering. According to the travel site Your Mileage May Vary, a ship can go through around 44,100 rolls. That's a lot of bread, no matter how you slice it.
I love bread.
Bread may be often cast as the villain of the food world, but consider the fact that you may be walking a lot during many of your onshore excursions. A piece of toast will help provide you with the carbs you need for your adventures. As long as you don't go overboard with the bagels, buns, and bialys, you can add a little lightly buttered wind to your sails. If you're cruising in luxury, then you might as well go extra on the dining too. Steak remains a cruise ship favorite, and not just because it's high on the protein content. Many ships offer premium steakhouses as part of the dining program, and while these onboard restaurants may max out your vacation budget, they also allow you to choose your preferred cut and customize your order. If you want to skip the horror on the high seas, err on the side of caution and order your steak closer to well done rather than rare.
Rare to medium rare.
Medium rare.
Considering the hit-or-miss nature of some of the other so-called premium options, steak may seem suspect, but a discussion among Quora users largely confirms that the quality of steak on a cruise ship is comparable to that of big-name chains. Now you can kick back, relax, and enjoy that ocean view with a tasty tomahawk, just as nature intended. A fabulously curated dessert spread is a cruise line staple, and many of these coveted treats take the form of all-you-can-eat chocolate lovers buffets, which allow diners to go with their gut, and sometimes a little gluttony. Hey, we're not here for nutrition, we're here to indulge, and these sweets are an undeniably fun part of the cruising experience. Better yet, they're often freshly made on the ship by pastry chefs who aim to please.
Snozberries? Who ever heard of a snozberry?
If you really want the perfect end to your meal, then a sumptuous selection of desserts is bound to tickle your taste buds. You may even find some well-known brands on hand. As Travel Pulse noted, select luxury liners have begun featuring favorites like Godiva chocolate and Ben & Jerry's ice cream among the many dessert offerings. With all these delectable options at our fingertips, it's impossible to know which one will whisk us away to sugar-high heaven. Well, looks like we're gonna have to try them all.